Especialista eu não traga, analista eu não traga, no asfalto eu não traga, analina é o que move o eu sou mais preciso, eu te encomendar, eu não traga massa. Com a mesa de xadrez, o rei não vai pelo peão. Marco a peça na mão, eu posso ir com a estratégia como segurança que segue vigia os meus passos na loja. Ele não importa, é igual a mim, foi rompe a dignidade, ele trouxe de volta. Ele tá na moda, ele muda um homem, o poder atrás toda a sua volta. Ele é o que você mais precisa pra ter na mão aquela encosta. Vou querer minha cota, enquadrei um amassado, especialista eu não trago amassado. Se tá na lista eu não trago amassado. Busco no asfalto eu não trago amassado. Se adrenalina é o que move o coração, eu sou mais
It's the jack of all takes jump.
Jack of all takes. I got on a little bit before. We got 13, man. About 13 minutes.
Let's do it.
Let's see, man. Let's see. What we got?
Still only got 10 for you.
Dang. I thought you were gonna give me 12. Now you got 12, B. No
Make
homo.
them count.
Don't do that. All right. So let's go ahead and get started, man. So everybody, welcome to Jack of All Takes. Been a couple of weeks since we had a show. But since then, we went from starting the playoffs and now we're in the conference finals. We got third seed Memphis Grizzlies versus fourth seed New Orleans Pelicans. We have more on that matchup soon and kind of what happened in the West playoffs matchups. And then on the East side, we got the number one seed Orlando, the defending champs, versus number 2 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. They just finished up a 7-game series against those Pacers in the semifinals, which was a great matchup. We actually got the Cavs on right now. So definitely talk through some of those games and how Game 7 turned out, and then also to talk a little bit about their matchup, man, against Orlando coming up in the conference finals. What's up, Cavs? What's going on?
What up, man? Good afternoon, everybody. Listeners out there. Let's get it.
You do got your voice shared, right?
Yeah, it should be shared.
Okay, cool. If anybody watching, man, just let me know if y'all can hear CK or not.
It would be a little weird if it ain't.
So somebody might reach out in a little bit, but so let's start off, man, with this series against the Pacers, man. It went 7 games. Yeah, BSG said he can hear you. It went 7 games. I'm not sure if all the games saved in y'all series. I'm sure there was a couple that didn't save, but it was a low scoring series overall. It was a good defensive matchup on both sides. You had KP and the Jermaine O'Neal African on one side, along with Drummond. And then on the other side, man, you had Bumba, Mobley, Thomas Bryant, Melton, who we'll talk about a little bit too. How were you able doing that matchup? Offense was hard to come by, obviously. What was the key in trying to, win some of those games and eventually win a Game 7 against those Pacers?
Man, first of all, shout out to those Pacers, man. That was probably the greatest defensive series we've had in my league history. Buckets were so hard to come by that really it just came down to execution and trying to put the ball in the best player's hands and make plays. If you followed the series, I was up 3-1 and Carlock made a pivotal adjustment that kind of shifted the entire series. He put OG on Donovan Mitchell. And so, he started pressing up and put Gary Payton into the lineup a little bit more and started, basically unleash the square. And so, that dramatically shifted the series. And he also took out Nerlens Noel and put in the African because Nerlens was starting the first couple games. And so, that to give him a little bit of, I guess, better spacing. And so, man, buckets were hard to come by. It just came down to execution, putting the ball in your best player's hands and letting them go out there and try to do something.
Yeah. I noticed. So OG's is a hell of a player on this game, man. He one of those two-way guys that are very valuable in a league like this.
98 driving dunk.
Yeah, so he's very valuable. You know, and that, I really thought OG was really the X factor for them Pacers. I mean, they had their shooters and their scorers like Simons. They had Benny, and they had plenty of defenders to throw out. You know, they had plenty of defenders, plenty of size up front with KP as well, Drummond. So one thing I wanted to discuss is Melton. We talked, I talked a little about this Melton acquisition, on the call a couple of weeks ago. Even Bamba too, but Melton was he won 6 man of the year? No, he won defensive player. No, he won all first team all defense. He made first team all defense this year. He was a acquisition that really, in my opinion, went kind of unnoticed in free agency, but I did know what he had to offer in terms of his abilities. And in a league like this where defense matters, he definitely stepped up in a lot of ways, especially in that game 7. I saw him dunk on, I don't know who it was, but I was like, dang, I didn't think he could do that. But look, so what's your thoughts on Melton, man, and then the Bamba acquisition, what they mean to you in this group, as y'all go against these Magic next round?
Man, they were huge acquisitions and huge in my, game 7. I didn't know Melton had all that in this game. So we'll explore that a little bit more. But man, those were some, he was tasked with guarding Simons off the bench as well. And I believe he held Simons in game 7 to like 2 for 13 or something like that. It was a really good defensive lockdown performance. Couple of steals, and he came in and scored, I think, 19 points off the bench. So it was a huge. He was I'll give him the I don't know what's the most important from that series award or whatever, but Jaylen Brown struggled mightily, and so we had to turn to somebody else to help Mitchell, and Melton was able to do that. And Bamba, of course, came in with 5 blocks and 5 steals. Huge defensive game. It was, those are huge acquisitions, and I'm glad I got them. And so moving forward, we'll keep them involved, and I'll try to get them more involved offensively as well earlier on in the series with the Magic.
Yep. See, Simon was working early in that series. He didn't have a good first couple games. I don't know if those were sim stats or not. I couldn't really tell, but
no, I think all the games saved except game 6.
Oh, okay. So game 3, game 4, Simons, he had 12, he had 18. Then he had the 10 points in the sim. No, I'm messing up. My bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 6. Okay. So yeah, game 5 and game 4, game 3. Simons he scored double figures. So that was a key going into game 7, slowing Simons down. I've seen Simons shoot, and that man's a shooter. Him and Benny, and it seems like Benny had a big game too, which was big game 5, had 28 points there. So man, overall, this was a hell of a series, man. Like when the Pacers went down 3-1, I didn't know what to expect, after that, but they fought back after making some adjustments, man. Like I said, they got a lot of lockdown defenders, bro. They got
a lot of lockdown defenders, man.
So we'll talk a little bit later about Pacers and expectation. But while we got you, Cavs, we want to talk a little about this next series coming up, man, against the Magic. Orlando. This is another team that's elite defensively. They want their defending title, their back-to-back finals appearances. This will be, if they win this time, this will be the 3rd straight time making the finals out the East. This is a team, they know who they are, and they know what they have. So what's going to be the plan? I mean, I know you're not going to give out your game plan, but what you foresee in this series coming up?
Man, I'm ready for another dogfight. I think this series with the Pacers really helped me, be prepared to go in there and just, fight some good defense with good defense. That's what we're gonna come. I ain't gonna get my whole game plan away with, but we are gonna come and play defensively. Melton, Bamba, Mobley, Jaylen Brown, we're gonna come and we're gonna play defense. And so if the shots fall, they fall. We're gonna try to execute on offense, but we're gonna take our stand on the defensive end. and hopefully everything else will work out from there.
Okay. Any idea on what's the defensive game plan for SGA? He's averaging 28 points a game right now. Do you have an idea on how you plan to stop him? Is Melton going to be is Melton planning on making an appearance and trying to stop SGA, or how that's going to work out?
Now that, my friend, you'll find out in game 1.
Okay.
Tune in for the broadcast.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate it, Cavs, man, joining up. I know you got to go. But definitely wanted to talk through that great series y'all had, and I'm expecting a great series in the Eastern Conference Finals too, between y'all two. So appreciate
it, man. Fingers crossed. Good health.
Yeah. So far, I'm glad to see injuries haven't played a part in a series yet. Really. So good to see injuries have been kind of cleared so far in the playoffs, man. But good talking, Cass.
All right, man. I'll be tuned in.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. So I don't know if the Pels are gonna join soon. I really want to talk to them Pels, man, because they probably, talk to the most surprised right now. They're probably one of the biggest surprises, man, from this playoffs right now. They went all in by going younger. This year, they made the big trade to move BI. He went to the New York Knicks. And the Pelicans was able to acquire the likes of Ron Holland and also one of the major names, Justin Edwards, who played extremely big. I know this game 5 stat, I think that didn't say, because I know he had way more than that in game 5. But Justin Edwards, man, 6'8", 2-3 guard, man. That guy, he was one of my 5 players that essentially made the All-Star picks this year. But really impressed, man, by what these young guys are doing, led by Kyrie and Zion. Justin Edwards, man, Ron Holland, they doing their thing. Justin Edwards hit some big shots, some real big shots in that game 5 against OKC. And even I think in game 4 too, I think the game 4 did say he had 22 points, made 5 threes, 5 for 6 from 3. Overall, man, these guys are growing up pretty fast. And still Zion is bread and butter. I think with BI leaving New Orleans, that allows Zion to be a little bit more of who we expected to see. A more aggressive from the jump. Handling the ball, driving from the perimeter. That's tough to stop at 284 pounds. And I didn't know that man was 284 pounds in this jump. But yeah, that's tough to stop, man. Then you got Ron Holland, who is definitely another athletic jumper, man, 99 drive and dunk. It's a tough group to deal with, and I'm gonna have to deal with them, in the conference finals. I think in the season, during the season, we did win that matchup, but we did have a great shooting game in that game. This is gonna be a great matchup, man, in the Western Conference Finals. Definitely expecting a hard-fought battle, man. It's gonna be a tough team to defend, but hopefully I can get these Pelicans thoughts, because I was really wanting to talk through, man, what their game plan and kind of what what transpired through that series. Because OKC is no joke. OKC beat us last year in the second round, and I was kind of thinking that Booker and there go the Pels right there. I was thinking Cat, Chet, Booker. I thought they were gonna be hungry for that, to make that finals this year. But what's crazy is Cat really slowed down in that final game, or one of those final couple games. He made some key misses. And JV held his own, Jackson Hayes held his own, and also shout out to Lou Emerson. What's his name? No, Isaac Emerson. That's his name. Isaac Emerson. He played some key minutes in that series, man. So I got the Pelicans on right now. What's up, Pez? Man, nothing much. So just want to ask you a few questions, man, about get your ass on the mic. He on the mic now, man. He on the mic. Ask you a few questions about this series, man, and then also a little bit about our upcoming series and just your thought process. But so what went through your mind, man? I know you started that series. You were up 3-1, and I think y'all actually tied the first 2 games, if I ain't mistaken. Y'all were 2-2 in their first couple games or so. What was kind of going through your mind and how you was planning to stop, Chet and Cat? They can't. They said they can't hear you, VHB. I think you're a little. Ah, okay. Yeah, I guess it ain't. I guess it's not being shit. Can you hear him a little bit? Or y'all can't hear him at all. He said he on his phone in the school line. But yeah, go ahead, BHB. What I do is I have to report back to the group what you said. No, they said they can't hear you at all. He gonna try to update it right quick, y'all. Alright, we got some technical difficulties, man. But we're gonna get back to it. So let's see, man. Zion 16. There you go, Keno right there. Man, it's me and Bankroll right now. Bankroll trying to fix his voice sharing right quick. Yeah, can y'all hear Keno? I said can't voice chat with the man guy due to network error. Yeah, something going on with the Pelicans. They were trying to join from the phone, but right now they're having some technical difficulties. We'll see if they join up a little bit later, man. But as OKC alluded to, man, they said Justin Edwards was the MVP of that series. I have to agree. I feel like, he the one that came through and hit the big shots when it mattered. Hit a lot of big threes in games where, you're talking about an efficient offense in OKC, man. If you even kind of start looking at, what they do as a team, they're a highly efficient offense. They got the defensive player of the year in Chet. I was thinking Chet was going to give them some problems, with the Zion front court, but BHB was able to persevere, with their lineup, man. That was surprising to see, because you had all the things we talk about with Zion, his height at 6'6". At the end of the day, he still was able to get his, just because of how dominant he is on that end of the floor. They were able to kind of limit Chet, and I know I think this one is a CM stat, but it didn't seem like Chet got as many blocks. And like I said, I need to see if some of these were CM games or not. But Chet, they were able to limit Chet on that defensive end, man. I think on some occasions, with Zion and Chet, or Chet defending Zion, he was able to bring Chet out of the paint at times too. Or if it was Cat defending him, he worked Cat a lot, man. I think that burned a lot of Cat's energy in a lot of these games too. So it'll be interesting, man, to kind of see what these Thunder do going into the offseason and next year. But definitely shout out to those Pels, man. Those Pels, I don't even think majority of the commissioners or the majority of the league picked the Pels to be in the conference finals this year. They got in as a 4th seed at that. So definitely shout out to them, man. I'll see if he's going to join a little bit later. I'm going to talk about this Jazz and Grizz series as well. I think all our games saved except for the game 2 or game 3. But yeah, this was a series, man. The Jazz, they beat us in the season. I knew, from a perspective of the kind of size they got, they were going to try to attack Ja. That's Ja's a smaller guard on here, but he's a dominant guard. But I knew with Anthony Black at the helm at point guard, man, 6'7" point guard, he was going to try to attack him a little bit more. It worked a little bit in game 2. He did have 29 points, but I think at the end of the day, Grizz just kind of lived with Ja trying to play him one-on-one and just try to use their offense as a base. One thing Grizz had going for him early, we had guys shooting the ball. Buddy, Bang had a good shooting series. Bridges stepped up, especially late in the series, man, gave us some good minutes. And Ja was Ja. Ja did his thing. I think the biggest difference, man, you see from these Grizz this year is that Ja got a lot more shooting around him. So his assist numbers are generally higher. And this is something he needed, honestly, because last year, they had some guys that could shoot the ball, man, but if it wasn't Bang scoring, it was tough. So overall, man, Jazz, they said, rebounding was a struggle for them. It was a struggle for them, man. They didn't rebound well at all, and some of that is because they pull the big out the paint to try to contest shots at times, and then sometimes it was just some of the Grizz players getting better position, man. And that happens. It happens, and you have to make adjustments to try to either live with some of the outside shots that were being taken and position your guys to get boards. And then some of it was just, the Jazz missing shots, man. It was just they were missing shots. So expectations, man. So as we move on, we're going to talk about expectations for these Jazz, the Thunder, the Pacers, what to expect from them this offseason, and also what to expect from them next season. Jazz going to have an interesting offseason, I think, because, you got Paul George. Paul George is 35 years old. He's definitely regressing. Even from a badge perspective, I don't even think his badges are as strong as they were when this league started. You got Paul George regressing. LaVine 30, be 31 next year. He still should be pretty about the same, I don't expect, but I think the Jazz are hoping that Anthony Black, Baba Miller, those guys can progress for him. So it'll be interesting. PG regressing. It'll be interesting for them, what they're going to do. I'm not sure what they look like. Let's take a look, man, at the cap right quick for them. Let's take a look. So even cap-wise, man, this team, they don't have much money next year. I think they'll have like the mid-level exception, but they only have 6 guys on the roster. They pick up Anthony Black, Baba Miller's team option. 2 guys is Nurkic and marketing. Then they have PG and LaVine. So the team is pretty thin going into next season with already a $122 million expected cap or team salary. So right now, I'm not really sure on the expectation for this team. They did have a good off season last year, man. They did add LaVine, PG to a younger core. So not sure on where they're gonna go after this. I honestly think they probably need to figure out their identity. I think right now, the first couple of years, it seemed like they were moving towards a more younger team. And then after they picked up LaVine and PG, they kind of took over the team. And so it'll be interesting to see how they, find their identity moving forward, man. But yeah, shout out to them Jazz, dog. Hope they can adjust some things for next year and get better. Looking at the Pacers next. The Pacers, this is a team that had another active offseason. They were one of candidates for GM of the year with those Cavs too. So funny how they met up, in the semifinals. But they'll have some interesting decisions too. This is a team that it looks a lot different than what they did first couple years. They were able to add in Simons. OG has been a staple on this team for ever since I think beginning of year 2. So he's locked in long term. KP's locked in long term. So those guys will definitely seem like they're going to be staples moving forward. The biggest question I got right now for the Pels is Halliburton. This is a guy who's got it all. He got 89 overall, got 27 badges, 94 3 ball. But he didn't really step up as I thought he would, and he didn't step up as much in that game 7. He went 2 for 13 in that game. He also had some down games. He had a down game 1. He had 7 points there. 7 points in game 3. Had some double-digit games here on game 4 through 6. But I think it's just trying to identify, what this team, who the team core players is going to be moving forward, and also how does Halliburton fit into that. Sack traded Halliburton a couple years back because they went with Fox moving forward. So I'm interested to see, they did sign Halliburton last year in the off season, but they have to figure out a way on what they want to address. And also with the Simons pickup, it seems like Simons is more of a offensive threat for Indiana than Halliburton is. Halliburton is the pass first guard that I think he was second in the league in assists this year. Pass first guard, but he has all the other tools to be a scorer as well. So I think the biggest question for Indiana is how they're going to move forward with Halliburton. They have about close to 60 million tied. They have about 60 million close to tied to Simons and Halliburton next year. All right, BHB said he'll be home in 8 minutes. So you'll hear more from the Pelicans soon. Pacers, if y'all on, y'all can join, man. Give your thoughts on your squad, thoughts on the Cavs series if you're available. But I think with Simons, man, I like Simons' game. OG, like we talked about earlier, he's a beast on here. I definitely don't see him being involved in anything moving forward. But also, last thing we talked about, Pacers, they got a lot of great defenders. It seems like they even doubled down in some areas on the defensive side. Seeing if they're gonna, balance it out a little bit from that defensive side and maybe add a little bit more offensive touch to the squad moving forward. So it'll be interesting to see what this team does next year. There not a lot of cap room there. We got the Magic back. Not a lot of cap room for this team as well. 167 million capped out this year, and then next year they're 120 million or so. They got their top 4 salaries: Halliburton, KP, Simons, and OG. So it'll be interesting, man, to see what this team do moving forward. Now we got the Magic on. What's up, Magic?
Hey.
So we got the Magic on. Nothing much. We kind of walking through some of the expectations for Thunder, Pacers, and Jazz moving forward. Do you have any thoughts on the Jazz or Pacers before we move on to the OKC?
Man, I say with the Jazz let me down, man. I knew, and you know what? I knew the way the season played out. I knew it would come back and bite him for jumping out in front of everybody the way he did. And, it's kind of hard to keep yourself engaged like that. We were like 2 weeks in and the Jazz was done with their season,
Yeah.
And, I think that was a bad thing for him, but I really expected more from him, especially when he hyped up the playoffs, looked past you in the second round. He said it was going to be Jazz Thunder Conference Finals. So, I thought this was that year. It wasn't, but I expected more from them than what we really get. The Pacers, shout out on the comeback, man. The comeback was crazy for comeback from 3-1. I really thought they were going to go and pull it off. The game 7 might be, I heard the Chaos talking about the game 7 might be the worst game I've ever seen in my life between two teams. It was one of those things. It was one of those things where, and it happens a lot with everybody, not just them, but when it comes to, when stuff get tight, I see a lot of guys talk about X's and O's, but when stuff get tight, everybody pretty much play the same way on 2K. And that's all we saw. That's all we saw. We saw, the tightness, the skill to really try to take a chance and do exactly what was safe and what they think will work. So, it was a good game 7 brewing wise for us,
Yeah.
But the Pacers, I really don't know what they do differently. I don't know what their cap look like. What do their cap look like?
So they're not gonna have. So as it stands, I don't know if Pacers used both of their trades this year. I don't think they did. I don't know if they got one trade left or not. I'm gonna take a look. But right now they're they high like in the cap. It'll next year looking like 120 mil team salary.
All them players.
All this dead cap. You talking about?
Yeah. Okay, so they got 5 guys on the contract, 6 guys on the contract.
Yeah, 6-4. So assuming he gonna keep Benny, so that'll be 5. Then you got Thabu 6, and then the African that's 7. So you have 7 next year. Yeah.
And the Jazz pretty much the same thing, right? You got like 6 or 7 guys.
Yeah, I actually think the Jazz, Yeah, they got 6 guys. So they top 4 plus Black and Baba.
So that's gonna be the thing about both of those teams. I'm excited to see what do they do. What they don't have room to do much different. So I want to see what do they make different. What changes can they make to get them over to the next level. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Okay. So that Paul. So what you think that Paul George? Paul George gonna be making $39 million next year. And he could be. He's probably gonna be worse. That probably could be one of the worst contracts in the game next year, I think. Okay, cool. So we're gonna move over to these. I'm expecting the Pacers. Pacers gonna be back. Pacers ain't gonna just sit there and not do nothing. So I know Pacers gonna do some. I'm also expecting the Jazz to do some too. I just don't quite know what it is yet. So it's gonna be interesting to see what those two teams do. What's your thoughts on the Thunder and how that series played out?
I was shocked, but I've always believed in the Pels, man. I just feel like he always got to get it together. So I feel like the Pels. I didn't expect it to go away. It went. No, I thought they would play like 7, but I wasn't surprised that the Pels won. I was surprised in the fashion that they won. I actually thought Mike would have been a little bit more dangerous too with Grady being back. Versus Grady was out last year, so I beat him last year without Grady, so I thought he would have did a little bit more. But I feel like BSB could have did. I always think he can win, and he put together that series, so I really wasn't too shocked by it.
Okay, Thunder have just alluded to that big offseason moves coming through trade. Team GM has been notified. Also, Coach Mark has been notified he will not return. So the coach is out in OKC. The coach will be out. It's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see what this team do, man. This is a team that got plenty of young talent. They got 2 building blocks with Cat. Well, they already got 3 building blocks with Cat, Booker, and Chet. So this is gonna be an interesting team moving forward, man, and how they move forward with their squad. Giddey's gonna be a restricted free agent. What I did notice with Giddey is he wasn't able to be aggressive, not as aggressive, but just not ready to shoot the ball much in that series. Even though he was 6'8", he has a size advantage. But even looking at the assist numbers, man, Giddey provides that balance. He has. I think he got gold diamond, if I'm mistaken. Let's see. He got Hall of Fame needle thread or gold diamond. I think, when you look at this starting 5, it's Brandon Miller and Giddey are your 2 weakest out of the 5. And so it's going to be interesting to see what he decides to do between those 2 guys when you got Cat, Booker, and Chet leading the way, man. So, but big shout out to them Thunder, man. And you was a believer in them Pels. I remember we talked about it early. I think it was earlier in the year. Talked about them in that trade, man. So Pels, they got a deep team. I will say that. Getting guys like Brunson. Brunson, I think, man, was pretty big in that series too. I mean, he was able to hold it down in certain time frames when Kyrie was out. And honestly, I don't think that was something Pels had last year. When Kyrie left out the game. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them Pels, man. Hopefully they should be joining pretty soon, I think. Let's see. So now that we got the Magic on still, man, let's talk a little bit about your series against the Cavs. What's your expectations of this series? Y'all got history. You're defending champ, and I'm interested to see what you got to say about your thoughts on Cleveland.
Honestly, I have no thoughts there. I don't, because no disrespect to CK, but if I win, he won't give me my props. I done beat CK 2 years in a row, and he's still making it seem like we're on the same level. And until you knock me off the level, I can't say we're on the same level, So I really have nothing to say, because the respect for my opponent ain't been there. There's always been an excuse as to why he hasn't beat me. So I have nothing to say. Until I'm defeated, I really have nothing to say about it.
Okay, I can respect it. I can respect it because I do think if the shoe was on the other foot, the same thing would be said. I think if Cavs won last two times, I think they'll be saying some of the same stuff. So can't knock that, and it's gonna be interesting to see they how you feel about Bumble, man, going up against your guy.
So I mean, Bumble is who he is. He's serviceable, but I mean, do I think Bumble is going to be a key reason? No, because I have Bumble, and I feel like I got a better Bumble now. That's what it is. I got a better Bumble now. So I mean, I feel like Bumble. I mean, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but the way we play, Bumble could probably be useless. The way I cater my offense, the way we play, is to think for you to set up something and I can almost take it out completely. Like say for example, Cavs went out to get Melton, pretty much to emulate Fultz. The difference is I plan on making Melton completely useless on defense.
Okay.
Melton will be probably completely useless when it comes on defense in this series. And if he wants to make I hope he makes an adjustment, because if he makes an adjustment, I have another adjustment for it.
Okay.
So I mean, and that's another thing. I mean, I would have liked to get credit. I'm like, hey man, I seen the way Fulton changed series of like I had to go get that. Cool, just say that. I give you your props too, dude. And then even at the matter talk, even being the defending champion, I really want to be vindicated until I defeat y'all in the series in the finals because you beat me year one. So I still ain't considering myself at the top yet because I got to beat the team that beat me in the finals.
I feel you on that.
So I'll say that I saw, and congrats on the Pacers. They played a good part against the Pacers, Bumble and Melton, but I don't predict them having the same type of outcome in this series.
Okay. So Cal said they went after Lonzo though. I didn't want Melton. So I guess even with that, the premise still the same though. CK, it's still two defensive guards, right? They're gonna pay us too to pay us, but it's still two defensive guards, right?
It's still the same premise, man.
Okay,
it's still the same premise.
So man, I'm ready. I'm ready for that matchup, man. I think that's gonna be a hell of a matchup, dog. I'm ready to see Bumble against his former team, and I'm also ready to see Bradshaw out there, man. After seeing him in that McDonald's game, I'm ready to see him work.
I give you my last tidbit is Bradshaw is gonna start this series. He ain't even started. Bradshaw ain't started none, and he'll be a starter in this series.
So Wendell off the bench.
Wendell's off the bench. Bradshaw has not even been a starter none this year. This will be his first time starting in the ECL.
Okay. So you heard it here first, man. Bradshaw gonna be starting in the ECL. I got one more question for these Magic, man, and then we're gonna talk to these players again. So, Magic, you the only user that hasn't played a user series yet in the playoffs, and we all know the difference in how the online when you're playing user games, versus playing computer games. Do you think that's gonna have any factor in how you come out these first couple games and getting adjusted to that?
Yes and no. The game speed may affect me originally, but I shoot with my guys all the time. Like I get on the game sometimes, I just go in the gym and shoot. So from a timing aspect, I think it won't affect me at all. Probably the speed of the game may take a little getting used to for a minute, but I don't foresee it being a problem.
Okay. Cool, man. Shout out to them Magic, man. It's gonna be a hell of a conference finals. All right, man. We got the Pels on now. I think they can hear you now, BHB. Man, so walk me through, man, that series against OKC, man. What was your game plan when you had to go up against Chet, Defensive Player of the Year, and Cat, man, with Zion and JV?
Well, like I said, my biggest thing was just trying not to get dominated like we did last season in the conference finals, because I felt like I had no answer, you know what I'm saying, for either one of them niggas. Whenever they wanted to score in the paint, they could. So we really just wanted to make it ugly, man. We tried our best to try to make anything in the paint as ugly as possible, and then we just deal with everything else on the outside. The biggest keys for us was closing out properly and being able to rebound, and that's the shit we hung our head on for the whole series.
Okay. I like that. I like that. What so when you went into the series, was Booker a concern? I know Booker last
I
year.
mean, Devin Booker is always a concern because he nice as hell. And I mean, shit, when he get rolling, it's tough to stop. So I mean, shit, outside the game too, I think we did a pretty good job of, you know what I'm saying, keeping him in check. He did miss a few open shots in later on in the series. You know what I'm saying? He may have gotten his head a little bit, who knows? But we was able to, we was able to take that punch in the mouth in game 2 and shit, keep going. I gotta give a lot of props to my young guys because they ain't, they never been in this position, so they had no idea.
Yeah,
that's almost probably why they were so good in this situation, is because they didn't know no better. That type of shit.
I like that. So yeah, tell me a little bit about, man, Justin Edwards. He was on one of the 5 guys picked on my list for all-star caliber players this year. That he didn't win Rookie of the Year. Collier won that from the Bulls. Then you also had Ron Holland, man. You traded up to get him from the Knicks. And you got Edmondson too. So tell me a little bit about these young guys, man, and what you expect out of them moving forward.
I mean, moving forward, I just expect them guys to just, to be there. The leaders of our team is still Zion and Kyrie, and we can only go as far as they take us. But I mean, I expect my young guys to still be there. You know what I'm saying? When things get hard, they can just look to those other guys for moral support. And shit, just keep hooping, man. It's basketball at the end of the day. Some of these guys been doing all their life. It don't matter about their age, whatnot. It's just basketball. We just gotta get out there, play basketball.
Okay.
Try to make it as simple as possible.
Okay. So what about this series against the Grizz, man? What's your primary focus right now? With the Grizz.
The thing about the Grizz is, man, is that the niggas' defense is off the fucking charts. So we'll have to try to just be. I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to the same thing: is basically rebounding, boxing out, trying not to give up as many points in the paint, because I mean, Ja is shit. He like the 6'4" Zion on this motherfucker, so he gonna score a lot of paint points. He gonna get a lot of dunks, probably get to the free throw line a whole lot. So we just gotta try to defend the paint best we could. I feel like 3-point shooting is something we probably can match the Grizzlies in, but at the end of the day, shit, they paint presence is a little bit more dominant. So it's gonna be all about just staying level-headed. If we get down early, try not to, try to get it all back in 1 or 2 possessions, and just being composed. This is gonna come down to the head coach got, he got his job cut out for him in this next series, because his main job is gonna be keeping these young guys contained, keeping their head in the game. Don't let nobody get down on themselves. If the shots not falling in 1 or 2 games, it's gonna be a tough series, man. Knockdown, drag out, brawl for real. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited.
All right. Yeah, Grizz looking forward to it too, man. It's gonna be a good one. I think both series gonna be good, man. The Magic, y'all got any questions for those players?
Yeah, man. Pales, man. What's up with you, man? What? I need to know who gonna guard Ja. That's what I want to know.
Who gonna guard Ja? I will probably give Justin Edwards the assignment. I mean, he can only do so much. I mean, shit. I remember when I had Herb Jones there guarding Ja, and it still, I mean, I still couldn't stop him. But we just wanna try to get him into certain situations, man. We might throw a double team here at him, trap here at there. We're gonna give him some different looks. We don't want it to be, we don't want it to look like what the Jazz made it look like. You just having free reign and just run to the basket and slam them motherfucker all game. So we're gonna try to make it just as ugly as the last series, as far as the paint is concerned. So hopefully we can get a hard foul here or there. There's no injuries on nobody, but shit, we gonna have to let niggas know that this paint is our area and we controlled it. So I expect us to be real physical against the Grizzlies.
Okay. I'm scared of you, man.
Yeah,
Hey, man, all we can do is hoop, man. We got, like I said, we got young guys who don't really know what it means to be here this early in their career. You know, some guys fight their whole lives and never get to the conference finals. So, I mean, shit is, we don't want our young guys to take this for granted, but we also don't want them, you know, to be out here scared and looking like a deer in headlights. So,
I feel you. Yeah, that wing combination, man. I don't know why I keep thinking L was like 6'6", but that man 6'8", plus Holland 6'9". So that's a tough tandem to handle. Then you still got Kyrie and Zion to worry about. So it's like
Also, I knew that as far as rebounding go, like Jackson Hayes has been a starter for most of the series. But if you guys noticed at the beginning of each of me and the Thunder's games, I would literally sub Jackson Hayes out. I would let him start, but I would sub him out like within the first minute of the game, just because I know rebounding is gonna be such a big factor. And Valanciunas is just a 10 times better rebounder than Jackson Hayes. So it really, man, it was those times, it was those certain moments where, you know, Valanciunas would grab a board or he'll actually be able to make Cat miss a layup or something. It was, you know, he played a big role, even though his minutes might not have reflected it. But he was huge. I want to give a shout out to Valanciunas.
Big Val. Yeah, Big Val did. Yeah, Big Val had some. Yeah, Big Val had had 3 double-digit board games in that series. 3 out of 5 games. So he played good. Then I mean, he had to battle up against shit. Yeah, then he had to battle up against Cat and Chet. So it was probably between him and Herb, honestly. If you had to pick anybody, it seemed like you probably picked the right dude. I think BHB.
Yeah, I would. Like I said, I would love to still have a guy like Herb or Alvarado, one of those guys that I could press up on defensively, and I could reach a little bit more and get those extra turnovers. But I mean, without those guys, we just had to learn to move our feet a lot better. You know, just try to be in position, and just, you know, we couldn't do really no reaching at all because we got nobody to steal the ball. So we just had to, you know, play straight up defense best we could.
Cool. So we gonna what you looking like tonight, BSB? We might be able to run 1 or 2 tonight.
What you looking like, BSB?
I'll be here.
All right.
Monday night, I'll be here.
So Western Conference Finals, man, it's gonna kick off tonight. When you think the conference finals gonna kick off, Keno?
I don't know. Depends on CK and his schedule.
Okay. So tentative could be tonight, tomorrow. But we expect, man, both series to kick off no later than tomorrow. And then after these 2 series finals are happening, you know, I don't know. We ain't really selected an off-season date yet, but you know, giving everybody pretty much, you know, work from home in some capacity. I don't expect these series to last too long. So we'll probably be somewhere in the off season, maybe within the next week, you know, something like that. But we'll have a better idea on that, man, once we get to the finals and stuff. So, but shout out to them Pels, man. I would pick them most surprising team. You know, with the young squad, young talent. Shout out to Justin Edwards, man. It was crazy seeing Edwards live like that, though.
Hey, game 5, shit. Justin Edwards, I think he scored. I went back and watched game film. I think he scored like about 13 in like the last 3 minutes of game 5, something like that. But even though he scored all that, the biggest play of the game was the assist that he made when he kicked the swing pass around Holland. You know, and he knocked it down. So even though he did all the scoring late, that was probably the play that we loved from him the most. That he was able to recognize the guy that was open on the other side of the court, make the pass, you know, and here we are.
I give you a spoiler alert, there's also a guy who ain't played none this year. Zach Edey, he gonna be playing this series too.
Oh, not Zach Edey. Uh-oh, niggas bringing the big dog out. The 7'4". The 7'4" Zach Edey. Okay, yeah. That's gonna be interesting then to see him out there, man. See Zach Edey out there. Okay.
You know, it's been I feel like I ain't had no challenge to play out, man. So you know what I'm saying? I played on CPU. You know, my first time doing it. So you know, we here for it. J-Rock, you should have been here, dog.
Yeah, J-Rock, man, we need you back, man. At least if you can, man. Let's try to make season 4, dog. Them Hawks still out there for you. You have to take a look at them right quick before we get on. Let me see who them Hawks. Still got Trey. Still got man. You still got the same squad. Trey, Murray, Collins, Capella, Hunter, Okongwu.
Capella still there? I ain't seen him at none of that series.
No, he got hurt. I think he was hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, same squad. I think still out here, man. But Capella a free agent too. So man, they still out here for you. J Rock, man. Maybe you can, squeeze a couple of games in with your fellas, man. Ready to have you back in that East. That
You
East.
get the Pacers online, so he go? Hey, man.
I don't know, man.
Hey, man, I'm feeling like Roman Reigns if I get come out there host 3 straight years, baby.
You said what?
I'm gonna be feeling like Roman Reigns if I come out there host 3 straight years.
Hey, as you should. Shit, as you should. 3 years in a row. But like I said, shit, this is the first time, shit, I think everybody that made it to the conference final 100% healthy.
Nah, first time.
For real?
Yeah.
I mean, on the east side.
It's the first time. The injuries always happen in the conference time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So conference finals year 1 was me and you, BHB, wasn't it?
Yeah, you want to be
Yeah.
And then last year it was you and Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year is me and you. And then how was it in the East? It was you and who in the East first year? You know?
me and
15, yeah,
Is it me and CK in here?
Oh, okay. I thought Kalak had made. I don't know why I thought he made it last year.
That's why I was saying I have no comment because my opponent, you know what I'm saying, trying to make it seem like it's just like he just losing because he loses players or something. I'm like, all right,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's 3 straight year.
Okay. So this gonna be a series right here, man. This gonna be a big series, like Magic three times in a row. That would be crazy. They would be crazy making 3 times in a row to defend their title. But man, it's gonna be a good conference finals. It's gonna be a good finals. I think no matter who meet up. So excited to see the final 4 remaining. Excited to see Grizz still there.
I'm gonna come out on a limb. I would hope to see a new final because I feel like a new final. Just me speaking for myself, I can't speak for everybody. But I kind of can see the league teetering a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. If I go to this hole and win again, my interest might lose a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? I might lose a lot of interest. So I'm hoping for a brand new finals myself, even though I'm in this hole as the defending champion. I would hope to see BSB and CK both make it. But I don't see CK making it. But I would hope that they do. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to know what I'm saying. Because me and Dez both are made. You know what I'm saying? I want the challenge tape. You know what I'm saying? Keep the league going at least. Man. I want the niggas to be intrigued. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if I see you win, BSB, you know I'm be at your head. I'm always at your head. So you know I'm be at your head even more then.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be tough to contain goddamn if these young boys get out here and get one. It's gonna be tough to hold niggas.
So I just want niggas to stick around and leave. What we trying to do? What year is this? 3?
Yeah, this year 3.
Shit.
I need at least 2 more because I want to see my young guy grow up. Like I want to see some real development from these niggas, man, and see these niggas possibly hit, in the early 80s at least. To see what they can really be.
I said personally we should be done hooping completely by the time the NBA Finals, but I can see this 2 more years lasting better. Probably getting us there. Probably a little bit before.
Cause that's June. That's before June, right?
Yeah. I can see us going to probably at the end of May with 1 more.
Yeah. I think we can do 2 more. I mean, the ultimate goal, man, was to do a full 5 seasons. I don't think we ever did 5 seasons before. So I think next year will be pretty smooth. And then it depends on what happened next year. It's gonna depend on how we work with year 5. So hoping for 5 full years, man. It'll be good to see that.
I do want to come back. I want to see Keith. I got to see the rebound from this collapse year he did. I want to see Mike with the new coach. I want to see Call-Out bounce back. I just want some respect from my Cavs opponent, man. That's all I'm asking for. Be like everybody just got Call-Out respect, man. But I got respect.
He did give the Pacers respect, man. I think it's just I don't know, man. It's the competition thing, dog. But we gonna see. We're gonna see what's gonna happen after this series, man. I think I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of blood in this series. That's where I think your flagrants and stuff you're gonna find in that series, man. Gonna be some hard fouls.
Zion is the flagrant nigga there.
Right.
But yeah, I'm expecting some
Never
hard
seen this
fouls,
man
man.
get a flagrant for real in real life, but shit, he'll get them hoes on the game though.
And I hate one game to get the Pacers talk, man.
I know, man. Hopefully we get the Pacers. We'll be able to get the Pacers, man, in the off-season special, dog, when we get ready to move into the lottery and talk through that.
Might get them on the NBA Finals special.
Okay, we might be able to get that. So we got some matchups we can see, man. We either get a rematch of Grizz Magic. We can get some new heads in here with the Pels Cavs, or we can see a Pels Magic, Grizz Cavs. You can see either or.
So it could be a new finals or the same finals. That's either way it's gonna go. Either way it's going to be a new finals or the same finals.
Yep. All right, man. Well, I appreciate Pels, man. Appreciate Magic joining. Appreciate Cavs joining early. Ready to kick this off, man. So holler at everybody.
All right, fellas.
All right.